Of the 7 billion people on this planet, half of them live on less than $3 a day. And Svetha Janumpalli, founder CEO of New Incentives, believes she can make a difference. Svetha, what are your plans?
So our plans are to raise money for those living on less than $1 a day and give that money to them directly on a goal basis. And our intention is to help people help themselves and make better decisions so that they can lift themselves out of poverty. Hopefully in 5 years, we will have raised many millions of dollars and funded many households. And so the vision for New Incentives is to create a worldwide system where exploited people can get rewarded for making improvement. And really the goal is to change the current system where a few donors give to a few organizations, where donors give to millions and millions of individuals. And so we hope to prove that making aid conditional on performance will not only empower recipients, but it will empower donors as well. If you give me $10, that goes to a $10 conditional cash transfer. You can just give that to us and say, hey, you guys put it to best use. But oftentimes people are really passionate about education or health or nutrition, and they don't know what solution to fund. So if you gave us a $10 education transfer, for instance, that would go to a child laborer, and he or she would be eligible to get that once they maintain regular attendance in school.
I see. Now, you used the word conditional cash transfer.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So a conditional cash transfer is a small amount of money given to somebody in need after they participate in certain activities. And usually that's enrolling children in school, maintaining regular attendance, ensuring basic nutrition, or practicing preventative health care. So there's many child laborers all around the world, and it's not just their lack of money that keeps them in poverty, but what does that lack of money mean? It means that they have to go to work to feed their families every day instead of going to school. And so by giving them money, we're enabling them to feed their families, but because of that condition part, then they're also able to make better decisions. So Manali, she's a 13-year-old child laborer in South India. Her father abandoned her family a couple years ago, and now her mother, who's a domestic servant, must support her and her older brother, and she only earns $26 a month. And
$26 a month.
$26 a month, and she works more than 8 hours a day. And so now, for the first time, Manali is able to go to school because one of our users, David Boyer, made a transfer of $9 to Manali. And she's only eligible for that transfer when she maintains regular attendance in school. So now Dave, with $9, was able to change her life completely.
So Dave with $9 is able to put Manali in school for how long?
For 1 month. So our hope is that you come to the website and you make a transfer to Manali for 1 month. And then you see the feedback and what happens. And then you decide to keep supporting Manali over time for free through earning free donation dollars, which is what we call them, by doing your online shopping through Amazon or Old Navy or maybe Travelocity, which costs you absolutely nothing at all except one extra click. So you would just come to the website, log in, and then go on our My Shopping tab and just click on your desired logo or store, and it will redirect you to that page. And then we've developed technology so that that earns you free donation dollars. We essentially earn a percentage of your purchase price.
One of the problems we find with many of these aid organizations is you donate a sum of money, but it's a bit amorphous. You don't know how it flowed through the system and reached somebody.
Exactly.
You just trust that it reached somebody.
Exactly. And so that's the very definition of conditional cash transfers. There's this tool where you can track exactly, in the case of Dave, we can see exactly where his $9 went and what effect that had. One of our partners in Kenya, the Positive Transformation Initiative, they're doing something really exciting. So they get groups of youth to form groups of 20, and then a lot of these youth lost both of their parents due to HIV, and they take care of maybe up to 3 younger siblings. And so what our partner does is they get them to get in a group and discuss how they're going to meet their goals, whether that be enrolling in vocational training or getting better nutrition. And then after that meeting, they make these changes, and then they disperse the money at these similar at meetings going forward.
One of the things I've seen and heard and noticed that in this kind of work is that people at the grassroots level of receiving aid get inspired, motivated by others who are going through a similar situation and got further ahead. And that is the Grameen Bank model where they create. So in the work you're doing, do you create a similar kind of system as well?
Yes, and the system we've created was deeply inspired by my time doing work with the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes, I saw that microfinance has created this great thing, a platform where very poor people have been able to be exposed to the rest of society and also interact with each other. And so that's the reason why we don't just go with mobile technologies to make the the transfers directly to someone's bank account, for instance, so that it creates that situation where people are getting together in groups and meeting in order to get the stipend or the transfer and talk about the conditions. I think something I think about a lot and that I'm a little confused by is that the world is small enough that my everyday actions, the things I buy, how much water I use or whether I drive a car can affect people all around the world. But at the same time, it's big enough that we've convinced ourselves that our actions can't go towards improving the lives of others. And so something Craig Newmark, co-founder of Craigslist, said is participate in small ways that are meaningful and do them frequently and then share them. And so that's really what helped me start something like this, because it reminded me that it's important to keep a big vision in mind so that you know what is meaningful, but then when you start to do things, take small steps every day and baby steps to make sure that you keep moving towards that vision.